Welcome to Fighting Monster Right, a show about fighting monsters, right? I'm your host, Adam. And
You'll never know
about...
how much I care. Nope. Sorry, everyone.
See, the audience didn't know, but I could witness your signing of the intro, which I don't know. I don't think it works in this venue.
The audience will never know.
No.
We're talking about The Shape of Water today. One of my favorite movies for no particular reason. Sip, sip, sip.
To cap off this wonderful January.
Yeah, we're wrapping up our beach vacation with a good movie that was good this time.
Yeah, and had some nice, pleasant water vibes.
Excellent water vibes. No beach. Not really a beach.
Just kind of a crappy little pier.
Damn it!
At night,
we did it. You know what? Hey, it's an improvement.
We're defining what January is. You know?
Yeah.
It's all these movies have to be is wet, and boy, was this one wet.
This was a wet film. So
the title of this episode is "Catch and Release: The Cons of Dating the Shape of Water Creature."
Catch and Release: The Cons of Dating the Amphibian Man. I don't know about calling him the Shape of Water Creature. Like, that was something I insisted on, but I am taking it back.
Oh, okay. Well, he's an amphibious being. The movie's about a relationship with him that develops, but it ain't all sunshine and rainbows under the sea. No,
life's not always better down where it's wetter. Take it from me.
I do think we should kick this off with a little Shape of Water discussion, because it was both of our first time seeing the film.
Oh no, I've seen this movie like 4 times.
Really?
Yeah, no, I've seen this movie before. It's one of my top 10s, easily. Maybe my favorite.
Oh, well, that makes me feel great, because I thought you said that after seeing it once. And I'm like, wow, really? What kind of... not that it doesn't have that kind of impression.
Oh, yeah, no, it's very good. It won an Academy Award and stuff for a reason.
Yeah, Best Picture. And it definitely... I saw it for the first time, and I was surprised by how much of a mean movie it was. Mm. And, like, you know, it checked a lot of boxes that stuff like, say, Parasite from this year... or from, this Academy Award winning season did. Mm. Where it's very tight story. They use a lot of the same objects and Chekhov guns and stuff like that. And in the way a good art piece does, it shows you visuals and then leaves it to you to kind of interpret what the themes and what they're trying to say is. It's not super blatant, which I was a fan of.
Yeah. Now, I called this episode... My idea was the cons of dating the amphibian man, because it would be just so expected, right, for me to just be, pardon the pun, thirsty for the fish man.
Yeah, it's low-hanging fruit.
Or,
unlike the amphibian man.
Okay, yeah, this is going to be hey, are you sure that we watched The Shape of Water? Because there's a lot of green lighting in that, and so far this episode's pretty blue.
Yeah. No, we're kind of taking the opposite angle that we might normally take.
Yeah. So
we're going down a different canal.
So I've got my notes here, and I've highlighted some of the reasons that you wouldn't want to date the amphibian man.
What color did you highlight it in?
Yellow, because that was the only thing I highlighted in, and yellow is the color highlighters come in, and I don't know, it's like that thing where it feels satisfying dragging stuff into a recycling bin icon.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it's not literally a recycling bin, it's just Anyway, the first thing I noted was, okay, this is going to be an uphill battle. I know...
because of how welcome this relationship is in this world.
Look, I know we all want to fuck the fish man, but we're going to have to put that aside for a minute. Just take that out of there. Because that's not the point of the episode. We're going to subvert expectations. We are subverting expectations, like the Rise of Skywalker.
I think it's important to look at a relationship from all sorts of angles and evaluate from in such a way. You can't just look at all the goods. You have to take the bads, too.
Yeah. So the first thing I noted was he makes weird noises.
Yes, as you, the audience has heard earlier.
Oh, yeah. Which sounded worse, my impression of the Fishman or my impression of Sally Hawkins singing? Not that Sally Hawkins is bad, but my singing is.
It's one of those, like, this monster was given a life by his sounds, by a creator that has heard every monster sound in the book.
Mm.
So it's not your run of the mill. It's not like a generic cat noise. That you hit play. Yeah, no, it's nothing like that. This is I'm sure D. Bradley Baker spent several months getting into this zone for this character.
D. Bradley Baker,
famous for doing a lot of the all the creatures on Avatar and several other animated programs.
Hmm. Oh, did he do some of the voices for that? Because I only know that Guillermo del Toro himself provided some of the sound samples.
It was Guillermo del Toro.
Oh.
Uncredited. So, yeah, Guillermo is just, making all his favorite sounds in the world. He put them in a bottle, and then he took that bottle off the shelf and poured the ooze right into the film.
Just took the bag of algae off of the shelf and started throwing it in there.
I even think about Del Toro's usual, bottles and fluids that he does, but this movie is mostly fluid. It's got more fluid than the human body.
I really want to put, kind of a bunch of fluids on the wall. That's not Guillermo del Toro. That's just strong bad. Fuck me. You know what? Lean into the skid. Homestar, I want to make a movie where the robots, they punch things so good.
The fluids, they're very powerful.
See, that's better.
I think he once used that to describe his body.
So I also made a note here that the Amphibian Man has web gloves for turns and speed.
And web gloves for turns and speed!
Oh, right, yes. Are his... Okay. And his flippers
I'm not going to comment on that yet. That's not how a three-peat works, son. All right. How do you feel about the fact that he bit off Michael Shannon's fingers?
I'm more concerned with how he is about pets.
Well, hold on. I'm going through the movie chronologically here. A little.
Okay, versus fingers. Kinda, that's unsettling.
I don't know.
Please expand.
I'm 100% on board for biting off Michael Shannon's fingers. I think that's a pro. I think that was actually bad that I highlighted that.
Michael Shannon in this film, or Michael Shannon in general?
Michael Shannon in this film. I'm sure in real life he's a normal person.
Yeah, he's a wonderful actor in real life.
Yes. Okay. Maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't looked it up.
You're correct. The character in this film could use with a few less fingers.
Yeah, and he does. And also, that scene in the bathroom is maybe my favorite introduction for a character ever.
It's pretty great.
He just walks in to, the cleaning ladies who are cleaning up the men's room, and he's just like, "Morning, ladies. How's it going?" And then he just stands in front of a toilet and, puts his hands on his hips and starts peeing. He just, he turns to face them with his dick still out, it's gross. It's very gross and bad and wrong.
Yeah, it does a good job telling you exactly what this guy's all about. Yeah,
no, this guy is... I can't believe they had Trump supporters in 1962.
Yeah, I do also, now that you mentioned it, I thought it worth mentioning since I was mentioning how much I liked the film earlier, just the use of, it's okay, this is a secret underground facility, and it's some crazy 60s science is going on, and our perspective, our point of view character is the people that clean up.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Also, I love how the science being done here mostly consists of tying a fish man to the floor and stabbing him again and again. That's not science. Yeah. That's just stabbing a fish man.
There's 5 dozen people there. And stabbing a fish man is what everyone's there to support.
Yeah, what do these people do normally?
Well, I like to think that this is just one dormitory. Mm-hmm. There's a whole corridor of all this stuff going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Organism 46B is another corridor.
It's like, hey, listen, Jack, I'm an octopus, and you're gonna get me the hell out of here.
And they got Bigfoot fossils, another one. So, yeah, this is just a fraction of what they take care of.
Yeah.
All right, so biting off the fingers, like of this character, yeah, that's a pro.
Yeah. There's a screenshot that I've added and simply labeled abs ... Scroll down. It says focus. Goddammit, bad things only. Right. Yeah. Sometimes he roars and all he eats is eggs. What's up with that?
Yeah, the eggs is kind of weird. If you want to take it to like a fancy restaurant. Or something like that. I feel like he's got a limited palate.
Hang on, I think doesn't your mom have a relevant story about eating eggs at a restaurant?
I do not recall this one.
So, your mom and dad, my aunt and uncle, were in Italy, and they were.
Oh yes, I know this story.
Yeah.
They're in an Italian restaurant, and they take a look at the menu. It's all in Italian, and they're just, they're feeling, impulsive. So they're like, they pick one item on the menu. They can't even read it. They pick it. And it comes back later, and they're eating it, and they're trying it out. They're like, what is this? It turns out they ordered eggs.
Well, I specifically remember they were, trying to guess, and they were trying to guess it was fish or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that adds another layer of similarity. But also, how do you not know the word for eggs?
I was gonna say, I can guess egg in most languages.
It's a Romance language.
I know huevo.
Yeah. I know huevo.
Yeah. I know huevo. We go way back.
Me and Huevo were best friends.
We were on the football team together.
I dated him for 6 weeks. Huevo.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you too?
Yeah, at the same time. That's why we both stopped. Oh, that Huevo, that scoundrel.
All
right. At this point, I was starting to think that the trilling was cute, but no, I still hate it. Michael Shannon had weird sex with his wife. The guy started eating... The amphibian man started eating eggs weird. He's a guy now.
So I totally understand the premise of the film, and as I've been saying nothing but good stuff before, but she warms up to him a little too fast.
I don't know. You know what? I feel as though if I were in her situation, I would do exactly the same thing at exactly the same pace, and I have no complaints about the realism of that, my dude.
Yeah. I guess I'm looking at this from point of reference of a kid alien film, or like an E.T. or something like that, where they really, really take their time before people are hanging out with E.T.
Yeah, but E.T.'s horrible.
Right.
So I also noticed during that one montage scene, which was really cute and all, where she's teaching him music and sign language and stuff, the scientist dude, let's say Bob, is taking notes and stuff, and I was like, this is better science than stabbing him could ever be.
Oh yeah. The Michael Shannon, Richard Strickland.
Okay, yeah. Oh well, in my notes from this point on, I call him Weird Sex Man, so that's fine.
Yeah, Strickland's definitely he's a military colonel. So he's got that, basically, I call it, a poorly evolved jock aspect to him. So, he just kind of manhandles the creature. That's what he does.
He feels romantically threatened by the amphibian man before he actually realizes that the amphibian man is banging the woman that he's attracted to.
Yeah, so it's a real... He's got a whole... therapy session that he'll never admit that he needs.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. Huh. It actually says that this is just a depiction of my actual real life father. Also, so this is also the scene where Weird Sex Man talks about how much he hates the sound that the amphibian man makes. And at this point I've written, I now legally have to change my opinion on the sound. WTF, I love the sound now.
Yeah, it's I actually like it a lot better now that I know that's Guillermo del Toro. Just, after hours up to like a little microphone, just going.
Love is more than telling me you want it. I don't need the words, I want the sound, the sound, the sound, the sound.
Since we don't have any, I think we've done a good job. He sounds like Perry the Platypus, right?
You know what? Not no.
Yeah, it makes that little chittering sound. It's basically if you extend that to entire character.
Well, I think I learned later on, when he's, like, not suffering, the sounds are better. I think I just hate the sound of a person suffering torture. Which, that's not
healthy.
That's not controversial, yeah.
No, that's a good call.
Well, okay, let's not get too quickly on the I'm healthy train there.
Yeah. By the way, Perry the Platypus, I just checked, voiced by D. Bradley Baker.
Okay.
So I am justified in my call out.
You don't... I hope you don't take this sarcastically. You don't miss.
Thus far, I've done pretty well.
All right, so this is also the scene where my dad stabs Shape of Water Man over and over. And I've just written my poor baby. Eliza is also a poor baby. Oh god, so many poor babies in this movie. Giles, everybody in this movie needs to be protected immediately.
Yeah, I definitely, I really liked Eliza's relationship with Giles, because it's not something that you see in everyday film. Oh, it feels so obscure, which it shouldn't. It definitely should be just seeing friendship between two characters on screen is great to see.
It's like one stage more explicable than Doc and Marty in Back to the Future, I want to say.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what they're doing. Neighbor is what Wikipedia's telling me, but
yeah, they're neighbors. They live next to each other.
Yeah, they visit each other. Like I thought. So the last time this happened to me was when I was watching movies on a plane coming back from Ireland. When I would, I guess, maybe miss a key line of dialogue, or something that really explains the situation. Because I watched Birdman, and have you seen Birdman?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he really had superpowers.
Well,
I did not read that any other way watching the film.
You also said the same thing about Phantom of the Opera, where you were like, I thought he would do some cool ghost stuff.
Yeah, I really.
You thought he was going to have bright snow white hair and glowing green eyes.
Yeah, I thought he could disappear and fly, and he's not like the other guys. But maybe that's just reads into the stuff that I normally read and the fiction I'm delve into. It's usually supernatural and speculative fiction in some form or manner. And okay, this one I can excuse that. It's an amphibian man.
Yeah, this is speculative fiction, definitely.
Although I gotta ask, is the amphibian man a misnomer?
Yes.
Because, he can only kind of be amphibious a little.
I actually did think about that a lot. Something about him rang very much not amphibian to me.
Yeah, because it's frequently said that he's got to get back in that water whenever he's out for a while.
Well, also, that's true of regular amphibians. You can't leave a frog just out. It's got to get back.
Oh, man.
It's got to get wet again. Otherwise, it'll die.
That seems like important information that we overlooked in our Frog People episode.
I don't feel like it. I kind of thought everybody just knew that about frogs, that frogs can't just stay out of the water forever.
This is the first time I've ever heard that, no. Amphibious, to me, sounds like it's a 50-50, who cares which one you're in. I
mean, you gotta kind of go back in a little bit. You can't just, I guess if you drank water that whole time, but also, Anyway, so he's got, these fins on his back and his gills, and they just don't strike me as particularly amphibian-like at all.
Okay, that's where you're coming from.
Also, he needs 5 to 8% salinity in his water, which no amphibians live in marine environments. So I think amphibian in this case might be a reference to the creature's ability to breathe air and water rather than a taxonomic assessment. And
okay, yeah, I track that.
The creature's teeth, when he roars at a cat later, reminds me of a pufferfish's beak, is the first thing I thought of, obviously, like you do.
Yeah.
It's also bioluminescent, and that made me think of a lophiform fish called a midshipman, which exhibits bioluminescence and also has ambulatory pectoral fins, like a frogfish or something.
Okay.
Bioluminescence is normally achieved through symbiosis with bioluminescent bacteria, which are acquired from the environment in anglerfish and stuff. The bacteria hang out in that little lure thing. And the creature's bluish-green luminescence that kind of, fluoresces when pressure is applied, that reminds me a lot of dinoflagellates, which are a kind of, plankton that... there are these amazing locations in Latin America and stuff. You can find, a lot of pictures online of bioluminescent bays where you can just swim through and every stroke makes this little glow in the water.
Yeah, I've seen that on my timeline before.
It's very neat. And so I think that he's kind of keeping those dinoflagellates sequestered in channels along his skin, and that's what that glowing thing is. The creature's eyes are almost exactly the same as those of a monkfish, which is also a lophiform. There's a couple pufferfish that are adapted to fresh water, especially in the Amazon, where the creature is from.
Yes, where he was found.
So he has pufferfish and anglerfish type traits. It turns out those are sister taxa within the perch relatives, the Percomorpha, and they split around 130 million years ago in the Lower Cretaceous. Fossils are rare in rainforest environments. The Amazon has been a rainforest for 55 million years. Air breathing is a common trait in different unrelated groups of Amazon fish because the oxygen quality of the water is so bad. You got to come up and just take in air and use your swim bladder as kind of like a proto-lung. Pufferfish are famous for unconventional swim bladder usage. Pufferfish use tetrodotoxin, which is a potent neurotoxin that's also implicated in that one zombie recipe thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also the thing that it is in fugu that kills you if it's not prepared correctly. Mm-hmm. So a basal ancestor of the pufferfish might be able to produce different chemicals, like something with topical anti-androgen properties, i.e. something that could cure male pattern baldness overnight, or a mitotic stimulant, in his healing powers.
Ah, damn, you found the source.
I found the source. He is a frogfish, which then I looked up. By the time I finished watching the movie and compiling all these notes and doing all this research, it was easily 4 a.m. And
yes, I could have answered that for you.
And then I looked up a frogfish video on YouTube, and Adam, watching these things move made me hate everything.
Oh no! What's wrong with frogfish? They sound like a frog mermaid.
Just really quick, maybe I'll cut the dead air out. Just look up a YouTube video of a handfish moving. It's a specific kind.
A handfish. All right, I'll turn safe search off. Okay, you don't think that's cute?
Well, okay, you know what? Wait, I'm seeing another video of
It's looking pretty adorable. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm watching another video of the scuba diver holding it up to his face, and it is maybe the size of a finger. That's much better. Mm-hmm. The fact that it's little makes it much better. I was picturing something 2 feet long doing this.
Yeah. I can't say I'm seeing the danger in this being.
Okay, maybe I was wrong.
I'm sorry. I'm all for the fish frog.
All right,
frogfish.
That's our science topic for the week, I guess.
All right. Let's keep going through the film.
Right. So we're on the scene where the car salesman like, credit to this car salesman, where he sells...
This is the world's best car salesman, let me tell you.
He really is. Because, like, it's a weird pitch that he's making where it's like, this is a car of the future. You're from the future. Wear this car on your body to drive places.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm just talking here. All I'm saying is all the facts about the car that you're looking at in a way that'll make you buy it. But hey, I don't care. I don't have to feed my kids tonight.
Not even the facts. It's just like, it's green. That means it's from the future, too. Like you. And, like, it's such a weird thing that would not...
Have you never seen a single green thing in this film? In your life, how many green things are there? I bet none.
There's a green squishy brain on my desk. I mean, nothing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
The one thing I will say about him is that I would absolutely also stand on the spinny thing if I wanted to seem persuasive.
Oh yeah, that's a power move. Absolutely.
100%.
He also did my favorite thing. I don't know if it's my favorite thing, but I love the bit of calling a color by a different name.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I want a green car. He's like, it's not green. It's teal.
Oh.
I'm like, oh shit. He's doing some Mo Avenger tactics right there.
What if he just stood on the spinny thing and just, like, faced everybody in the dealership and started selling them cars like he was trying to have sex with Bigfoot or something?
He just stands on the spinny thing and, like, does not get off it.
Yeah.
He just points at people and tries to, and sells them cars successfully.
All right, so next there's a scene where I've just written, no. That's the scene where Michael Shannon starts harassing our main character, and that sucks. Hate that part.
Yeah.
Don't feel like I need to really say that. Just wanted to... gross. Don't like... I mean, it's movie. These are sentence.
Yeah, it movie, he antagonist.
I like how in a quest for being woke, we have really...
60.
I like how in a quest for being respectful and normal, we have really just, like, cavemaned up our speech patterns. I don't know what that is.
Red Scare, bad Soviets, bad at home, fish boy in tank, good boy in tank.
All right, this is another bad thing. He needs 5 to 8% salinity, one of these things every 5 days, whatever those are, and a raw protein diet. And to me, you know what that sounds like?
Bunch of eggs?
No, kind of a gym bro.
Oh, uh-oh.
Not a fan.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Starting to lose interest.
Yeah, like, he'd be one of those guys that carries around one of those, like, crappy, like, shaker containers full of his supplement that he needs.
He talks like one of those assholes from Supernatural. Like, oh, I need a raw protein diet and 5 to 8% salinity. It helps keep my muscles really big.
Yeah, he if he was not hitting the pool, he'd be hitting the gym.
Absolutely. Well, some gyms have pools, I think. I've heard whispers on the wind from the gym.
Rumor has it.
Scientists have said.
The jury is out on pools in gyms.
All right, well, speaking of Supernatural, I assumed that you got to the heist scene and gripped it tight and took it out of perdition.
I thought that heist scene was good because of its realism.
Mm-hmm.
Stakes didn't feel super high, but then the one car hit the other car, and I was like, oh shit, it's on.
Oh, yeah. There's the bit where the scientist uses the Israeli popper.
Oh, yeah.
To Israeli pop the fuse box.
I like any time when a popper it hops off the menu of Applebee's and destroys a piece of technology.
When it hops off of the menu from Applebee's and into the Oxford English Dictionary, where it describes some other thing.
Yeah, right. So,
yellow note here, distracts Richard Jenkins with his beauty. He does.
Correct, yes.
I love the sound he makes when he switches respiratory systems. Totally great sound, really hot. Definitely not awful. Alright, he hangs out in a bathtub all day. And also, come to think of it, here's a question. Is it good or bad that he was worshipped as a river god before he got captured trying to fight that oil derrick?
I think it's bad. It's got a real ego problem. He's used to being, like, served. So I feel like in a relationship with him, it's not like, you're not an equal party. He's not bringing as much to the table, and I think even throughout the course of the film, Eliza doesn't, like, the power dynamic is not equal.
Mm-mm. Well, the power dynamic is not equal mostly because he's a
Asset.
person in a unfamiliar environment.
Yeah, he's a real Thor from Thor. Or a Wonder Woman from Wonder Woman.
How is... Oh, right, those are both fish out of water movies. Fuck, damn it. Okay. So Eliza has kind of power over him in that sense, but also he's a big fish man who can heal leprosy and whatever.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier, I think we should really zoom in on this, that he has a healing factor for himself and his buddies.
Yeah.
Right?
He really does. He, can heal Richard Jenkins, and that's it.
Yeah.
What a superpower.
He gives him hair back. Although, I noticed something reflecting on the film, is that he gives him hair back after another scene happens.
Yes.
Where he takes hair away from someone.
Okay, well, wait. Oh, okay. I see. Well, I do want to point out, one scene that happens in between that scene and this scene. Zelda's feet are hurt encounter. We're at 3 presently at this point in the film.
Yeah, hey, as someone that's dating a nurse currently, I can definitely say that it's one of them jobs where you're on your feet continuously. And it's the 60s, so your footwear is not supportive in any way, shape, or form.
I didn't even think of that. Good point. So he doesn't...
Yeah, so I ain't blaming her.
So I'm not blaming her either. I'm just saying feet are hurting her counter 3. So here's a yellow note here. Here's a pretty bad point. He does not dry off after he gets out of that bathtub.
No, he just kind of drips all over the apartment.
Yeah. Oh, hey, there's actually also another yellow note here immediately after. No, do not. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, no, he ate a cat. I knew it was coming, but I still wasn't prepared. I've seen this movie before, and I still wasn't prepared.
Yeah, he eats a pet, which I found an incredible move for 2017. Because and maybe that's something that I've just picked up on personally, but maybe it's just our generation coming to power or whatnot. But pets got a real bad rap in early media, like even up until recently. That nowadays it is uncommon to see something bad happen to a dog or cat in a film.
Yeah, it's I feel like our generation is more empathetic than prior ones would be the stereotype. I don't know if that would necessarily be true. Probably. But
I think another thing is that it's like the pet to kid ratio is a lot higher.
Yes.
Too.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Just demographically in real life, you're saying.
Yes. So millennials with pets, I guess what I'm saying, means that pets get more empathy when they're portrayed in media.
Now, Richard Jenkins actually seemed weirdly okay with his cat getting eaten.
Yeah. Well, one of his 2 cats. So maybe that might be a part of it. He has another whole cat.
Oh, that's weird. Look, as a cat owner, and by that I mean...
a temporary cat owner, right?
I babysat my brother's girlfriend's cat for a week. That makes me a cat owner, I think. Kind of. As a cat owner, I don't see forgiving Shape of Water Man for this offense.
No, it's probably the most, I would call out of date item in the film. And that's set in the 60s.
Well, appropriately, time appropriate.
Yeah, time appropriate. I think Giles' reaction to losing a cat is on par with losing a cat in the 60s.
Yeah. Cat is weird throw pillow, not cat is fur baby.
Right. So, but yes, so as I was saying before, he later regifts Giles with a kind of a more of a head of hair than he had previously.
Yeah, he's trying to play with the cats, and he's learned that they're not for eating, and he makes up for by using his wet Christ powers.
Yeah, he moist Jesus's hair back onto Giles' head.
Be still and know that he is moist. Be still and know that he is oily.
This wasn't discussed in the film, but don't you think that the amphibian man would smell
I think he would smell good.
Like
he would smell like seawater.
I think I don't know what world you're. Seawater is not a great smell. I think he smells like low tide. Honestly,
Seawater's a great smell.
I'm not into it.
All right.
Hey, well, you like if you were driving down to the beach and you roll down the windows when you get to the bay, you're like, this is better.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I love the smell of seawater.
All right, maybe it's a me thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like it. I'm nostalgic for that smell, but like that low tide reek is like real. I'm not a fan.
Well, it could also be a me thing.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah,
we need a third host to break ties.
We really do. Can we call Ben and ask him if he likes the smell of the ocean?
I'll text him right now. We'll get an answer by the end.
All right, cool, good. Okay, next yellow note. His dick is weird.
So, okay, what was that drawn from?
The scene where Zilda realizes that Eliza has been having sex with the amphibian man, and she's just like, what? How? And then Eliza kind of looks suspiciously to the side and then does some weird thing with her hands that I don't understand. And then Zilda's just like,
I feel like it might be sign language for something. She's also doing things with her hands that I don't understand.
I sincerely doubt that. I don't think that's how that works. I don't think that's an answer to the question. I don't think you... Anyway, this is a yellow note because this one's also a plus, actually.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Who's writing these? Come on, dude.
Yeah, no, he is definitely a grower or a displayer or a... Let's not get into it any further.
Okay, fair. I can't fault the amphibian man for how terrible this bathroom sex idea is. This one's all on Eliza. Scratch that, the bathroom sex idea is A++. The bathroom flooding idea is where things get squirrely.
Yeah, I find myself in the shoes of the theater patron directly underneath the water place.
Oh man, you gotta get dripped on with Eliza and the fishman's stank water. That's no good.
No. Also, this scene upsets me as a mechanical engineer.
Very much struck me that this didn't really make sense. And it was definitely Guillermo del Toro, like, come on, it's a fairy tale. It doesn't have to make sense, the cheat. Quiet, the cheat. Who's making the movie?
Yeah, no, so... it's one of those things where it's like, we don't have to dwell on it too long, but... Boy, oh boy, I like the cartoon, like, warping of the door on the outside as water, like...
that might really work. I don't know. I think that might... We'll have to myth bust it.
Yeah, let's hit Mythbusters back in action to break down Shape of Water.
I think they would. They would do it. So, I did notice when he was sitting at a table in a scene, he really is adaptable to Western societal conventions as any, like, isolated tribes person would be.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised he wasn't, like, smoking by then.
That would be hilarious. Oh my god, that'd be so good. Smoking's bad,
yeah.
But, like...
Well,
how do you think he maintains those abs, though?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely... he's swimming constantly.
Does smoking hurt abs? I don't even know.
Oh, hang on.
Probably, right?
And if he smokes and he ruins his lungs, he's got a whole other respiratory system.
Oh, yeah, he's fine. What if he could stop the coronavirus?
By holding his breath a real long time?
I feel like this is untimely coronavirus joke number 612 on this show that I've made.
Okay, I got a reply from Ben.
Oh, good.
As I said. He said, in response to the question, do you like the smell of seawater? Yeah, as opposed to river water. Although, maybe just the Delaware that stinks. But that sea is nice. So, we made the mistake of quizzing a New Jerseyan.
Mm. That's true.
Yeah,
well, it's closer to the water. I figured he would know more.
Yeah, right. So he's a big fan of the seawater smell. So maybe I'm in the wrong here.
I suck.
So this is an important question to the context of the film. The amphibian man is an intelligent creature that can be taught things. Do you think he can be learned to taught like in the dream? Do you think he can learn Do you think he can be taught to dance like in the dream sequence?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's a whole damn person. He could do that. Also,
Yeah, he's got two feet.
at some point, did you just ask if he could be taught to do Inception?
I did not ask that.
I definitely heard the word Inception somewhere in there. Let's play the tape back.
Do you think he can be learned to taught like in the dream?
Holy shit, this is a great idea. we have to tell that guy that looks kind of like Ryan from The Office, so much so that before I rewatched the movie, I thought that was that guy. That his father's company needs to be whatever. I don't remember the plot of the movie Inception. It's like, do you think you can convince him? All right, I like what you said.
Oh man, I had this dream, and it was like this crazy fish man told me not to believe in my father's dream.
I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna sell the company. Great job, Fishman. We did it. And then he unzips his face, and it's, oh no, it's Talia al Ghul.
Dun dun dun.
Anyway, so he sheds his scales when he's sick, and that was upsetting. And he also literally cannot live in a bathtub. This was a bad plan.
Yeah. So so this might be like maybe like a pet fish tip. But I don't think she was following the instructions correctly.
No, your sister...
The scientist gave her.
Your sister has a fish who is literally just in a bowl on a table, and I've told her before, like, this is bad for fish.
Yeah, no, it's
Not
so...
to put my dear cousin on blast or anything.
Yeah, but yeah, she just like throws whatever. The guys gave her very distinct instructions about like what the powder that you put into the bathtub, and she just throws it all in there. And
oh yeah. He hands her another one later. So I guess the idea is he's just going to keep handing them to her every 5 days or so, and like, what about?
Also, what is it? It's that. I don't care about what the substance itself, but he's like giving her like a little like wicker basket. Like what kind of science delivery system is this?
Maybe it's like what the tribes people that worshipped him traditionally kept them in, and he's being respectful of that because he's a good scientist.
Yeah, he doesn't want to mess up with like the base formula here.
Yeah, the base formula, and also he just wants to be respectful of indigenous cultures, which is very good for 60s science.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what else do you have on your notes? I feel like we're about at the end of the film.
We're near the end here. So I just put in all caps, "come through, Dimitri." And then at the end, where he says, like, "they just clean," when he's laughing at Michael Shannon, I was just like, "Dimitri, with your last breath, you failed to come through. For shame, comrade." Zelda's husband's back is aching him counter 1. Weird Sex Man's whole plan really relies on a whole bunch of people fucking up. This movie technically has the same plot as The Legend of Gatorface. Adam, do you know about The Legend of Gatorface?
Can you describe it for me in 60 seconds or less?
It's a 1996 Canadian comedy horror movie where at some point a child dressed as an alligator skates over an alligator. And also, like, the whole movie's about, like, this cryptid who is an alligator man. At the end of the movie, he gets shot by the police, and, like, the clouds start rolling in, and frogs start chirping more, and, like, a snake slithers by, and, the kid's friend, who is this elderly black man, who therefore knows everything about how magic works, I guess, just says, "It's the swamp. It's been called into action." And then, like, the bullet wound heals, and he gets back up. It's the same movie.
Does the alligator man, is he reincarnated as a snowman?
No, but I get where you're going with that. Well,
yeah, I have not seen this movie.
Or the only version of this movie I can find on the internet is a Russian dub, so kind of, yes.
What's going on? What's happening? Что творится? It's the swamp. Это болото. Called into action. Значит, легенда говорит правду.
Okay, I see where you're coming from.
All right, so get you a man who heals in the rain and tears out fascists' fucking throats.
Yep.
Hell yeah. AMSAB. All Michael Shannons are bastards. Michael Shannon in real life might be a normal person. I don't know. Probably, right?
Yes. No, he's a coveted actor.
A-lister.
A-lister, yep.
I would say so. All right. Using your last words to call your killer a god is maybe the most you can possibly lose. 2020 just ended with folks, you gotta say, Joe Biden, he's Jesus Christ. Folks, people are saying. Why?
Some people are saying.
What is that voice? Now.
That's like Trump on helium, right?
It's like, oh god, he has such a dumb, bad baby voice anyway. It's the problem. I can't make it sound worse. All right.
It's late January. I'm done talking about him for the rest of my life.
Yeah. No. So, I'm not crying. My eyes are just showing off the water shapes they can make. And with that, we end the film.
Yeah. So I thought it was a real bold thing to make the poster of the movie the final image of the film, right?
I mean, you could just interpret it as symbolic until it actually happens in the movie, and you're like, oh, wait, yeah.
That's what I was thinking. So, and I guess that's incredibly well hidden.
Yeah. Now, also, let's talk about the end of this movie. So,
okay,
when the amphibious man heals Eliza's gills.
Well, let's full context. Eliza was mute this whole film. I don't think we mentioned that yet.
Oh, jeez. And we really not? I did make a note. I made a note that I skipped over about how much it struck me how differently people talk to mute people.
Yeah, so we're talking around them, and
I was like, I'm so good, and I'm being so good here, and talking about a disadvantaged, group of people, and there I go ignoring it. My bad, folks. Sorry.
So Strickland at one point talks gets the answer out of her that her throat was cut as a child, as an infant, and that severed her vocal cords, which is crazy. Who'd do that to a kid?
Yeah, that is true. And then she was found washed up outside a river in Putnam. Don't know where Putnam is. I could not find one singular definitive location for it.
Washed up in Putnam.
She's maybe a mermaid, baby.
I don't know if I like that read of the ending. I think I like it more as a worlds collide than they were compatible mermaid people all the time.
Yeah, no, you know what? This was a thing. I first watched this movie, and this was a mistake. Maybe this was the second time I watched it. I can't remember, but I watched this movie with my parents, and my dad was like, "Yeah, it was a movie," and my mom was very disgusted with the relationship between Eliza and the amphibian man, which I found really just gross and weird on her part. My mom is a very childish person, I find, and she tends not to grasp metaphor very well. So I think she failed to read the subtext here.
Our mothers are sisters, and I think she would have the same reaction. I would not show this movie to my mother. Just because I know she would be caught on that thread and not be able to let go of it. She would not be able to look beyond the concept of dating a fish dude.
No, it's symbolic of finding love amongst the undertrodden of society, solidarity between different oppressed groups, and I think that's an incredibly beautiful and moving message for a film.
She had a very good moment in the middle of the film where she basically signs to Giles that what's the difference between him and me? Yeah.
No, that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And, my mom comes from a world where when somebody says minority, she thinks Italians. Well, whatever. Ignoring that part. But I don't even remember I'm just mad now.
Okay, so we were talking about the relationship of these two and the different kind of shape it takes.
Right. But when I said that's what I was gonna bring up. When I said, when I mentioned that fan theory that she was kind of like an aquatic being of some sort, or maybe a hybrid between a human and the fishman's species the whole time, my mom was like, oh, well, okay, that makes it a little better, that she's with her own kind. And that was the point where I was like, oh no, I fucked up.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so I think that interpretation, even though it makes sense and you could take that meaning out of the text, I think it's not a good idea. I think it was left ambiguous, and I think maybe we should go towards he can turn the weird neck scars into gills interpretation.
Yeah, because that's my interpretation, because his healing factor is very much kind of what he chooses. He heals someone's hair, he heals wounds, like he turns throat slash into gill. It's never... I like it because, well, okay, maybe not exactly. It's a soft magic system.
It is.
And, only at the climax of the film does it really kind of change the stakes of it. But only slightly.
In, like, the interviews and stuff, Guillermo del Toro calls him the river god.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very fantastical approach. I don't think it's scientific. I don't think, despite what I said earlier about different chemicals and stuff, I think it's meant to be just like, blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again, and whatever.
Yeah, but my reaction to the finale of the film was that, oh, how old is the Amphibian Man? Like,
he's so
if
old.
He can shrug... he is so old that red was the future when he was a kid.
He's so old that his yearbook quote is just, "Oog, ugh, fire good." That one's not even about a fish man. That's just...
No, that's good. Yeah, so, that was my reaction to, what could kill him? Could anything? Which, normally that would make me upset in a movie context, because I'm like, all right, what are the stakes if this is an immortal being? But it was very different because of because of when it was revealed.
Well, you keep him out of the water long enough.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're done with that. So let's... where do we get to with all this discussion of the different water shapes?
So, you know what this is all leading up to?
Mm-hmm.
Squatchalorette, baby.
Squatchalorettes. Would you give a rose to the Amphibian Man?
Squatchalorette. Bah! I think that's gotta be that's the theme song. I think we went over some cons.
Yeah, you went over the cons and you went over the pros. You've got kind of do you have a quantifiable list there? Or do things have different weights?
The soft magic system, meaning I did not do enough work.
No. Well, you said earlier that his relationship with pets was a full stop.
Yeah, taking care of a pet is a big responsibility, and responsibility sucks. I like pets, but I don't need to have one.
Okay.
I was very much struck with the thought of, this guy can't get a job at an office, right?
Yeah, you're right.
How's he gonna support me?
But I also had a weird feeling at the end of, this isn't his ecosystem, is it?
No, he's gotta swim all the way back down to South America. That's so far from Baltimore.
Yeah, he's going from, Baltimore Harbor to sea, and then back to, what's the plan here?
I do not...
So he I guess what I'm saying is that he feels a little bit like a drifter.
Yeah, he was born a rambling man. Or an angling man, possibly. An anglerfish man.
You've listed some what other major cons do you see?
The Jim Bros stuff. I feel like...
High protein diet, you can't really...
Adam, he's so hot. I have to. Yes. Rose. I'm just... Yes, absolutely. I'm sorry to current season of The Bachelor, this one, but or The Bachelor.
I get that reference. No, but I like the... I agree that he is definitely one of the most, just inherently sexual beings that we have added to the Squatchalorette.
I've been holding back this whole episode. I want to lick up his entire body. I'm sorry. I have to. I can't. I'll shut up now. I'll be quiet. Take us home, please.
All right, let's take the Amphibian Man to the final rating place, where we put this monster to bed in a watery grave.
Oh no! Don't do that.
So
he'll come back or something.
No. You can't do that. He might be a god.
Might be a god. He'll come back in 3 days and be like, "It's a miracle."
So I would give the Shape of Water creature a 2017 out of 2020 for the year that he won the Academy Award. Out of the unfortunate year that it is.
That's a weird rating system because I think the lower you go, the higher the score is.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like a 2014 out of 2020 would definitely be higher than a 2017, right?
No, he's like a 98%, something really up there.
Yeah. I will give him a 5 out of 5 Michelin stars for how good he would taste.
Oh no!
I meant that in like
a serving up.
Is it more fucked up if I meant that in a food way or a sex way? Which is worse? Do you think?
I think it's a dog eat dog world. I think was very fragile throughout the film. Given the choice between eating him, wow, I did not mean to say that.
No. I'm not giving you the choice. I'm saying it, which is more fucked up.
All I'm saying is that I would definitely bite off one finger just to see what it was like.
He would be able to grow it back, probably.
Yeah, it wouldn't bother him.
It would bother him, but he'd grow it back.
It's one of those I don't even like fish. But you gotta, when the opportunity arrives.
Okay, so I was talking about preparing him in some way, and you're just talking about biting a dude's finger off. You know what? It's racist of me to compare him to seafood, but fortunately not a real race, so I think I'm okay.
So join us next week where we leave Baltimore and go to a northern town with a lot of secrets buried underground.
Join us next week where we go above Baltimore to a northern town with a lot of secrets underground. That's a reference. Right. That's a reference you'll get next week.
Hope you had a happy January.
Hang 10.